The verse I would like to touch on briefly is Romans 12:15. In the NIV version, it says, rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. In the King James version, it says, rejoice with those who rejoice, but weep with those who weep. This is a verse that I've read many times and never thought too much about it. However, this most recent time when I read it, something was different. I felt God was challenging me to understand this verse more fully and was asking me if I was really doing what He wants me to do in relation to this verse. Was I putting my love for others into action? I do feel sorrow and compassion for my brothers and sisters and unbelievers who are hurting. I will pray for those individuals who are suffering and in need. I will ask others to pray for those that are struggling. I try to get as many folks as possible that I can to pray for others, and I'm not hesitant about asking other people to pray for others, even if they don't know them. Pain in others can bring pain in our hearts as well. When reading this verse in the past, I had only really thought about the mourning part of it. What about the part of rejoicing? I had not really too seriously thought about that aspect of it because that's a good part of the verse. Who doesn't like rejoicing? We all like that. I never really thought about this as something as critical as the mourning with those who mourn. Sure, it'd be easy. It is easy to rejoice with others, but do I really know how to generously express this rejoicing to others? I'm always thrilled, happy, and often elated for those that have a cause to celebrate and rejoice. I'm happy for those who rejoice, but do I really understand it the way I understand the mourning side of the verse? I think I was being encouraged to look a little deeper into this. All things good come from God, and rejoicing is definitely one of those things. James 1:17 says, every good and perfect gift is from above. With this unique COVID time where graduations, weddings, funerals, and events are being held in a different manner than ever before, I realized that concentrating on the joyous and the happy times with others should be easier to do. But I always just glanced over that because I didn't think anyone needed me very much during these joyous times. But then it hit me that I think that it was God wasn't telling me to rejoice more with others, but God wanted me to realize and remember that indeed my prayers and petitions for others are vital for my Christian life and for others' life that they may impact. And my love for others is definitely a critical aspect of brotherly love. But it is God that is ultimately in control of all these things. I needed to trust Him and His will. God's perfect will is being done in the here and now. Nothing I can do will increase or elevate that because His will is perfect and no improvement is needed. And that I, as a lowly sinner, could never improve upon that anyway. God is God and I am not. Even in God's sovereignty and His knowledge of all things, He enters into our sorrow and joy as well. Jesus rejoiced and grieved and wept just as we do. And identifying and participating with others in their joys and in their sorrows is a Christian privilege and responsibility. My deeper dive into this short verse has impacted my prayer life as well. I'm trying to respond to this updating thinking that I'm trying to have with the same push for prayer, but to focus my prayer on Him, His goodness, and His ability to do all things. I'm just a helper who needs His grace and guidance every day. I'm trying to deepen my prayers to God in regards to mourning and rejoicing and thanking Him for all He has done and will do in our lives because He is the sovereign God who can heal all things and all people. 1 John 4:19 says, we love Him because He first loved us. And Jesus showed us how to love, and He is our perfect example of love and compassion. Dr. Bob Pittman has a quote which I thought was compelling. It says, quote, Christian love should never be passive but active. It is not just something we say, it is something we do. This love involves giving, praying, respecting, obeying, serving, and forgiving. So, I wanted to offer up this simple prayer for myself and to my brothers and sisters who are listening to this as encouragement. It is as follows. May we show a tiny resemblance of that active Christian love just described in all of its various aspects to those around us, and especially in the way we rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. Amen. Thank you and God bless.